Alright, well, this is kind of ironically funny. Here's the YD100. One exhaust about is good. The other one actually broke off. Just vibration, I guess, over time. So it started leaking, blowing shit all over the jug here. So I thought it was just maybe loose. Got home. Damn. So we got this all apart. I got to adjust that anyways at some point. And that's just oil. Yeah. So there's the piston. I'm not really sure what the brown oil is. We're gonna look at that too, but all in all, it looks good. So one of those rings may be leaking. But anyways, we'll get to that after. But for now, I gotta repair a stud in this. Alright, I hope this comes out clear. So I drilled that old stud that was broken off in there. And I guess it just vibrated free over time, you know. So anyways, I drilled my exhaust stud out. This side's still good and tapped. So what we're going to do now is fill this with aluminum brazing rod with a torch. And then we're going to drill a new hole and retap it. So here we go. Alright, so here's what I got. This is aluminum welding rod. You can buy this at Home Depot. You can buy this at Harbor Freight, places like that. But anyways, this one came from Home Depot. It's an aluminum brazing rod. You just use a standard propane torch, medium tip. We're gonna heat this up. I gotta clean it out first, really good. You gotta make sure you sand everything, brush everything. Just clean it out really good. I'm gonna take some sandpaper and just run it around inside there, rough it up. And then you gotta get this to temperature. And once this gets heated enough, the rod should melt on the metal, not from the flame. So this stuff melts at about 800 degrees, I believe. Somewhere's in there. Oh, no, 730 Fahrenheit. So yeah, pretty close. So anyways, your exhaust will not even get close to that temperature of the head. If it does, you're in deep shit anyways. So, alright, so this is where we're at. I'm going to clean this out, get it ready, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I got this filled. I gotta let it cool down. Don't put it in water or anything. You could screw it up, warp it or something. So let it naturally cool. I used about 6 inches of this to fill that. What I did is overfilled it. And the reason it looks like that is I took a cold wrench and I swished it across it. And that's why you see all the stuff there. And I knocked it off just to kind of make it a little easier when I go to file this down. So anyways, that's where I'm at. I ended up using a big torch just to heat this up and get it up to temp, and then I used this one. I left this one on it with some clamps just sitting there keeping it hot, and I rested it on a socket too, and I used this one for the general area to keep it hot enough to melt it in. So that's what I had to do with this, but it is also extremely windy out, so I had to use like a block and stuff. So other than that, I think if I heated it up and kept it out of the wind, it would have been fine, but you know, I don't want to do it inside. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna flatten that all out, and then we'll drill and retap it. Alright, so I got it filled, and I knocked all the crap off. I just used a file until I got it semi-flat. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to drill a hole, tap it, And then I'm gonna put a piece of flat sandpaper down, kind of like you do like a head and stuff. Piece of granite, and go back and forth till it's nice and smooth. Mount it up and we'll see how it goes. So here's where we're at. I got this one all the way in. Let's take it out. There we go. Here is the repair job. And see, it's all threaded nice. Yeah, there's always a little bit of a lip, but I mean, you can't help that. But anyways, the only part that counts is around anyways, and that it's all flat. So this little lip ain't gonna make a big difference. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this all out, we'll reassemble, and we'll get it running. But that is how you fix a stripped exhaust stud. I want to show you guys something cool. I put a bolt in here with a nut on it and a lock washer and a washer, and I run it up to the top. You put it in, and the nice thing about this and why I did this, I think these were the ones that came for like the back wheel, you know, to put your sprocket on. I don't use them. So I could put it in with a wrench and tighten it with a wrench versus this Allen head that goes in, and it's hard to get the key in to begin with, the Allen key. But as soon as it starts backing out, I can't. I gotta skirt around with it with pliers, and it's a nightmare. So on that one, I always put a bolt like that, and I use this kind of setup, which is a nut, lock washer, washer. Put it in while you know, run it all the way up, thread it, and then tighten down your nut. Super easy way. Can use a wrench. Awesome. So anyways, alright, so I'm in the process of putting this all back together. I got a new head gasket, torqued it on, put in the original bolt, and then the other one that I showed you how I do it so it's tight. I noticed this thing's wobbling. Here was the point of failure. The bracket broke to keep it stabilized so it doesn't vibrate, and all the vibration broke that stud. So if you have one of these, be careful with this and make sure this doesn't break off, or it'll break your engine stud. I just didn't notice it was broken, so lesson learned. Anyways, let me get this back together and get it going.